towards the stage. Okay. Yeah, just you can see where it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Doing the harmonica thing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor Ford, for that. I am here, and so are you, in a wonderful place, Lord Jesus. Have you taken a chance to look at the artwork? I want you to take a look at the artwork because understand that it began as a blank canvas. You know what a blank canvas is? It's just a clean canvas with nothing on it. But what is that canvas waiting for? It's waiting for your imagination. And once you allow your imagination to take hold, behold what happens. Beautiful creations, just like you all are. Beautiful creation. You're so far away. Is everyone okay? I'm going to come down and say hello first, okay? I'll start here. Hello. Mr. Next Door. Play something. You were playing my song earlier. I love that song. Play that again, please. Yes. So, and hello. My No, I'm not even ready. I am. It's gonna put it. No, that's not my phone. I'm just going to move it for you. Oh, that's yours. Yeah, this is not mine. Okay. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, look at my good friend, Chaplain. Greetings. Oh, wow, everyone is here, and the steel panels are on. My favorite. What you have to do it over there? Oh, my favorite. Oh, that steel pan music. Oh, I love steel pan music. It's my absolute favorite. I cannot wait to hear the incredible music that comes from that. Oh my goodness. Hello, you missed all the excitement. Hello, hello everyone. Wow, we have some very special guests here tonight. I'm so happy to have you all here today for the 2017 ImagiNation Awards. Everybody get to that shortly. But first, I'd like to have a little conversation. Thank you, my son. I cannot wait to get that. So, isn't it a beautiful snowy day outside? Oh, I'm so excited about it. She sure does. You know, snow is it's such a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a rarity where I'm from. It's actually an impossible thing. You know where Kente is from? No? No, that's a trick question. Because Kente is my name. But Kente is also the name of this beautiful fabric here. You see this here? That's called Kente cloth. And it is made in my homeland of Ghana. Now, in this Kente cloth, they tell stories with the colors as well as the shapes. It is usually worn by royalty for very important occasions. And every time I come on, I get to meet you all. To me, it is a very important occasion. Because I consider you all great royalty. So back home in Africa, I don't see snow. So this is an exciting thing for me. Is anyone else excited about the snow? What do you do in the snow? Since I'm not used to snow, what do you do in snow? Give me some suggestions. Yes, snowman. What is that? And you kick them, balls of snow, and you play football with them. Oh, like a man or a woman. So they don't make snow woman. Just snowman? Oh, that's not equal. That's not. In today's society, everyone gets the same. That's not right. I think I'm going to build a snow woman today. And maybe you can help me. Because after this incredible event, we're going to go down and travel to City Hall. And we're going to actually experience one of the greatest times in Toronto for Christmas time. It's the holiday fair in the square. So I cannot wait, and I hope you all can join me. Does anyone ice skate? Do anyone ice skaters here? Well, one, two. Okay. Oh, okay then. Well, do not be afraid of trying something new. Okay? So for those who've never ice skated today, I would be so happy if today was the first day that you stepped out. Stepped out. That's right, my elf in the back. You encourage them. Get out of your comfort zone and try something daring and new today. So, yes, my daughter, would you like to come? Come. Please come. Let me see you. Come, let me see your face. You look familiar. You look familiar. I've seen you before. Oh, yes, I know who that is. Oh, my goodness. It's Susan. Yes, my daughter. Oh, my daughter. What do you have for me today? What is that? Is that the naughty list? Oh, she brought the naughty list just so I can make sure. Okay, let's see what's on the naughty list. Steve Kerr. Mr. Kerr, what did you do, sir? Okay, then. So I want to tell you the story. A story that goes back over 2,000 years ago. This story is called The First Christmas in Africa. Are you ready to hear the story? And I want you to say, I'm ready. Oh, we have an enthusiastic player in the back like that. That's what I'm talking about. So, the story of the very first Christmas in Africa. Now, this is no ordinary story. This is no ordinary set of circumstances. And in this story, you're going to hear about miraculous miracles that took place during the first Christmas in Africa. Now, for those who do not know, Santa of the Claus Corporation, you all know Santa, right? Give a big round for Santa, please. Yes, yes. He's been working, toiling so hard to make sure that Christmases are special. Just like your parents. Give one for your parents too. If you're going to applaud Santa Claus, you give it up for your parents. Because you know what? Maybe you don't know, but Santa needs lots of help. And because of his parents and their work, you're able to have magical, special Christmas mornings. So, does anyone know what CEO is? Anyone? CEO? I can't hear you. Does anyone know what CEO is? It says chief, yes. It's ordinary businesses. But the Claus Corporation, CEO, which is the title of Santa, stands for chief officer. Yes, and he works with the elves to make sure that all the toys are right. And so I have a very important responsibility. And that is to make sure that toys, kids, girls, and boys, all across in a Caribbean island. Is anyone here from a Caribbean island? Wait, all of you? Which island are you from? Can I hear the island? Which one? Jamaica in the house. We know Jamaica in the house. Yes, I see it. Tension is hanging in the back. St. Lucia's here, all very important, beautiful island, yes indeed. So that is my going job. And when I was given this suit, and I was given an opportunity to work for the Claus Corporation, I said, I will wear this suit, but it must first represent my culture. Does everyone here know what culture means? Yes. Yes. It's connected to where you're from. Your culture is where it comes from where you're from. Just like this food that we're eating today. That's called culture. So I said, I need gifted on my suit. And I need to wear it proudly. And everywhere I go, I need to talk about my culture, which is very important. And we get to now take our culture and merge it with Christmas because of the story that I'm going to share with you shortly. But I want you first to know who I love and what I do. So can anyone tell me what it is I do? Anyone? Yes. In Africa, and through your effort today, we're actually going to do. You see, I need all of you.
No, I don't know whose laptop it is.
It's used to record. However, it's being put on the table when we set up food, and that doesn't work. And it's not, it's not that.
So is it recording now, you're saying?
Well, I presume it is, yes. So,
And it was where you were sitting?
it was at the table where the salad bar is set up. So we're setting up food on that table. I'm making arrangements for another table to be set up. But if you want to place it someplace else, because I think it's going to take longer to set up. If you want to place it somewhere else, that's fine. If you still need that extra table, we're making arrangements for that for you.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, yeah, I know. He's the one that hit me the other day. He's just come to apologize. I was in an accident. Y'all didn't know?
No.
Oh, sorry. You didn't know. I hope you didn't know. Now, the gentleman with
Scared the king of the king of the time felt like this little brand new king.
free to talk to me. I may not know what to do, but I'm going to be able to.
Okay. So you are in management of the establishment?
I'm just a stakeholder.
It's like, I want to find out.
I do HR. I don't do operations.
what I say, what I see.
All right. Thank you very much. My name is
In modern day
Jay.
time, you can
Bo?
consider him
I can
the
be.
first
Oh,
rich.
wow. That's
Now, look at the
interesting.
rich right there.
The reason why is because I'm an actor and I did a production of a voiceover for an animate object, a chair, a talking chair.
Although
It's an old, wise chair that's 113 years old. Oh, how you doing? My name is Bo. I'm 113 years old. Yes, I am. Steve Kerr.
Very important message.
Nice to meet you too, Bo. All right.
And that message is to travel and flee. And do you know what I learned? Oh my goodness. You are such a scholar, doctor. That is correct. Egypt is exactly where they had to go. And could someone tell me, please, where is Egypt? Another scholar we have here. Wow, that is correct. In Africa. Now, this journey was hundreds of kilometers away. Hundreds of kilometers away. And did they have cars then? No. Did they have airplanes then? No. Did they have hoverboards? Absolutely not. I beg to differ. I heard ancient stories of hoverboards. I'm just joking. So yes, it's correct. They didn't have the kind of traveling luxuries that we have today. They had to walk. And during this long journey, one of the wise men, you remember the story of the three wise men that brought Jesus gifts? Well, one of them called upon the Royal African Regiment. Now, regiment is a name for army. And among this regiment was my great, 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 great uncle, Captain. And he witnessed miracle upon miracle upon miracle. Would you like to hear about one? Oh, I love to tell this story. Now in Africa, you know what kind of animals they have? They have a few dogs. That's why we have in our imagination station in the back for the pictures, you can pick different animals. And those animals are animals you would find in Africa. Now, what is one of the most ferocious animals you can think of? It's part of the family. You're right. A lion. Well, every lion has a little cat in them. And some cats have lion in them. It's all about what you believe. You see, your imagination. Oh, is that a lion? Will you color that one for me, please? Oh, Miss Claus would love that. So, let's say you're a cat. Do you have to stay a cat? What if you use your imagination? What do you think the bravest cat in Toronto thinks of himself? If he uses imagination, if he uses imagination, he can say, I'm a lion. And would he be wrong? I don't think so. Because there's lion in him. So I'm asking you young people today, once you understand what you have in you, you can be anything. So yes, you're correct. The most ferocious animal is the lion. Now, as the Holy Family was traveling through the Mediterranean and across Gaza into the desert, they noticed a pride of lions. Now, what does a pride of lions mean? Yes, my daughter. It is like a family. And I love the name for pride Because to me, when I hear that, I think we should have pride in our family. I think it's a great reminder that we should have pride of who we are and whose we are and where we come from. Because we come from great kingdoms and we come from humble places as well. There's no place we haven't gone. There's no place we don't know. So yes, a pride of lions showed up. And the army got on guard because they had one responsibility, and that was to preserve the life of the newborn king. And these lions, they approached very strategically, and it looked like they were hunting them. Until they did something very peculiar. As they got closer to the lions began to bow. They began to bow their heads, and they dropped their shoulders, and they looked up with their eyes, and they showed a sense of humility that was never seen on a lion. Now, why do you think the lions did that? Why do you bow to someone? Yes, this one. To show respect. Yes. And so these lions actually knew that they were in the midst of the newborn king, baby Jesus. And so these lions, after bowing down, we realized that they were here to help. Now these lions began to follow the family through Africa. And as they slept in the middle of the night, they stayed awake and kept a watchful eye over the family. And they even brought them food. Now, they arrived to a very special place in Africa, and they decided to spend some time there. And while they spent some time there, the lion stayed with them as well. And they got to watch the lions and learn from the lions. And they learned one incredible lesson. And I want to share that lesson with you all today. Would you like to hear the lesson? I can't hear you. Okay. Well, then I'm going to bring up then a gentleman who's going to share this message of the lions with you, who witnessed and watched and also have to share the story. Just as I too have to share the story with you, because this story of the lions is so miraculous and inspirational. So I'm going to call up Chaplain, Mr. Chaplain Kerr, who's going to come on up, and he's going to tell you this incredible story of the pride of lions. Yes, I like that. Can you practice playing the drums? Can I see you play the drums in the back? Let's go. Use your imagination now. Yes, we have everyone drumming now. This is what I like to see. Very good, very good. Now, they're drumming. Look at them. They're all drumming. Awesome. Awesome. Can I get you guys to just stand on your feet for a second? Just give a little bounce. Get a little rock with me. Come on now. Let's get a little exercise in right now. We're here to have some fun. All right. Are you with me? Come on. I know you got some beats. Come on. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. Who's that sitting beside you? Who is that? That's your brother? Come on. Stand on your feet and just give me a little bounce. Come on. All right.
Let me see you put in your hand now. Let's give it a little hand. Come on now. Come on, let's see it. All right. Just throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. All right. Awesome. Awesome. This is great. Listen, I really want you guys can stop now. I really want you guys to catch your story. So I'm going to ask you all to stop doing some coloring for a second, all right? And what I want you to do, I want you to turn your chair this way. I want you to turn your chair, yeah. Yeah, just turn it and face me. That's right. And get your brother. Why don't you grab your chair and bring it right there? Excellent. All right. That's what I want you guys to do. There's a couple chairs right here. Children, I want the children to come a little closer, all right? Because there is going to be a quiz. All right. We got some prizes and there is going to be a quiz. Come on down, children. Just right here. There's a seat right here for you. And you guys can just turn your chairs. That's right. Try not to block the very center so people can walk. But that's good. Turn your chair a little bit more this way. All right. You can even pull it right up beside your brother. Awesome. How old are you today? You're 11? 13? Wow. I thought you were older than him. He's got 2 years on you. Man, I tell you, you see how sometimes you can be so wrong. Because I'm thinking that you're the big brother, but you're actually the little brother. All right. Is he a good brother? Does he? Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on up. Come here. All right. Tell me something that your brother taught you. Tell me something that he shared with you that you say he's a wise brother. That's a hard one. All right. Okay, y'all can sit down. That's good. All right. See, I need this close knit because I need to make sure y'all are paying attention. Because I'm going to be telling you a story of how my lion pride comes to meet Kente Claus and what we did that was a miracle. And as he said to you, this started over 2,000 years ago. And you see, do you guys know what a miracle is, by the way? Can anyone here tell me in their words, what is a miracle? Princess Judea.
Something that seems impossible, but when a miracle happens, it's not impossible.
You hear that? You're exactly right. Something that seems impossible, but when it happens, right, that's bringing the supernatural into the natural realm that it becomes ordinary, meaning you should expect it. So as you heard, baby Jesus and his parents, you guys know the name of the parents of baby Jesus? Who can tell me?
Mary and Joseph, Mary and God.
That's exactly right. Put your hands together for that. That's good. I told you guys it's going to be a quiz. I got to know if you guys know because it's very important for you to know the history. Because the history is his story. Did you see the play on word? History is his story. And this story is important. Someday, you all perhaps may get married and decide to have children, and we want to know that you have the ability to tell them the story. So there is this lion. His name is Barja, and Barja was the king of the jungle. And he had a son. His son was named Wu Ami. Who can say that? Can you say Wu Ami? Wu Ami is an African word that means who am I? Because Wu Ami was young and he still yet didn't discover who he was. But as he was growing up, he grew up and he was raised with three sisters and the other young cubs in the pride. And so they would play this game called tag. Everybody here has played the game tag before, right? Excellent. And so Wu and me, he was very, very fast. And so he would always say, I want to be it. And then he will count it. All the other cubs will run away, and then he will chase them, and then he will say, you're it. And no matter, whenever Wu and me touches somebody and makes them it, they could never catch Wu and me. He was just too swift. He was just too agile. And so after a long time, of course, Wu and me had no problem with being it first. But you see, the problem was the other cubs, they got a little upset because they could never catch Wu and me. And so they didn't want to play with him anymore. And one day, they told Wu and me, we don't want to play with you anymore because you're just too good. Wu and me became very sad. And one day, Wu and me was walking with his head down, and his father, Barja, came and says, what's the matter, Wu and me? Why the long face? And Wu and me says, the other cubs don't want to play with me anymore. They said that I'm too good. And so his father cheered him up by saying, that's okay, Wu and me. I got a game that you and I can play. Do you want to play with your father? And he says, yes, sure, Dad. I want to hang out with you. What's the game called? And his dad says the game is called Catch the Tail. And his dad says, you can attack me anytime you want and try to bite my tail. And so Wu and me was excited because he was always up for new challenges, and he liked to hang out with his dad too. And so every chance that Wu and me got, he tried to pounce on his father's tail. And so his father would move the tail just when he's about to pounce on it. But you see, Wu and me, he was real dedicated and disciplined and determined to catch his father's tail. And so he would play this day after day and week after week. But his father's tail would just move really quick. But Wu and me was work really hard at it. And one day, he crept very slowly. His father didn't hear him coming. And he pounced and caught his father's tail. And Wu and me was very, very excited. And his father congratulated him and says, you have now graduated to the real game. And so Wu and me said, there's another game? And he says, yes. And this game is called Nip the Ear. Nip the Ear? What's that, Dad? And he says, well, Wu and me, it's kind of the same thing with Catch the Tail, but it's going to be a little harder because you're going to have to mount my back and nip me on the ear. And Wu and me said, okay, Dad. And he said, listen, son, anytime you want to, anywhere, anytime, the game is a 24/7 game. Wow. Wu and me was really excited. And he realized that he had to learn and to hone in his skills a little more. So Wu and me would lay down and he would plan of times to sneak up in his father. And one day, Wu and me was in this tree, just this little old tree, and his father was passing by. And Wu and me jumped out of the tree, but guess what? His father heard the ruffling of the branches and glanced up and saw Wu and me coming and slipped to the side. And so Wu and me said, man, I almost had you. And he said, that was a good attempt, Wu and me. And remember, Wu and me, it's never over until you win. And so Wu and me went away and thought of another opportunity. And as he stalked his father, that's what lions do. They stalk their prey. And so when Wu and me was watching his father making his rounds, because his father is the king of the pride, he noticed that his father will pass the ceremonial rock at 2 o'clock every day. So Wu and me says, yes, I'm going to hide behind the ceremonial stone. And when my father comes by, I will pounce out and nip him on the ear. And so Wu and me He wanted to make sure his father didn't see him hide. So he went there an hour earlier. Who can tell me what time Wu went to the rock?
An hour earlier.
Yes. Who can tell me the time? If you're listening to the story, I said that somebody.
1 o'clock.
That is absolutely right. There's somebody that's listening because I said that Barja, Wuami's father, he always passed the ceremonial rock at 2 o'clock. And Wuami wanted to make sure his father didn't see him hide, so he went there an hour earlier. Remember, I tell you, got to listen. I'm going to be asking questions. And so Wuami got there 1 hour early. Wuami just laid down in a crouched position and patiently waited because he knew it's never over until I win. And so when 2 o'clock came, Wuami perked up his ears and he heard his father coming. So he got ready by digging deep his claws and he was ready to pounce out. But then he heard a familiar voice behind him say, "Hello, son." Turned around and there was his father. And he said, "Dad, there's just no way you could have known I was hiding there. I was there an hour early." His father said, "Wow, Wuami, you were there from 1 o'clock? That takes dedication and discipline. But you're right, son. I didn't see you hide there. Something else gave you away." He said, "What, Dad? What gave me away?" And Barja pointed up at the sun and he said, "I saw your shadow hiding behind the stone. It was the sun that gave you away." Wuami got very angry, and it was almost like he wanted to curse the sun. And his father said, "Wuami, now." And Wuami quickly took his hands and rubbed it through his young mane. "That was a good attempt, son. Try again, but remember."